Crickets and magic. That's all we have here. Trying to get the show started. Takes a lot of button pushing. Or crickets. Everyone likes crickets, right? No, maybe not. Everyone tolerates crickets. They play their wings like a violin. Let's see. Got the chat out here. Excellent. Hello to the chat. Getting ready to share the YouTube link. The important sharing of the links. Almost impossible to do before you start the show. Let's see. Live. An Italian tribute. There we go. At least there's some kind of tweet out there. There's a tweet. There's a chat. There's all the things. There's a dog barking. It's all happening. Here we are. Of course, today I tweeted it, and it looks like, of course, today it put out the YouTube link. But hello to YouTube. Hello to Facebook. Hello to Twitter. Stand by. Is everyone standing by? Thumbs up and shares. All right, let's go ahead and... oh, how awful. It's come up with... it's doing YouTube with the wrong color, you know? Dark mode, light mode. That's awful. Hold on, let me see if I can fix this dark mode, light mode problem. Dark theme, yes, please. Okay, hold on. Chat will not accept that. All right, here we go. Let's see, getting ready. Going back to this. There we go. And now, here we are. Camera's not working, but we'll go to this camera. A reading from Marcus Aurelius, Meditations. Consider frequently the connection of all things in the universe and their relation to one another. For things are somehow implicated with one another, and all in a way friendly to one another. For one thing follows in order after another, and this is by virtue of their active movement and mutual agreement, and the unity of their substance. Adapt yourself to the things among which your lot has been cast, and to the men amongst whom you have your portion. Love them and do it truly, sincerely. Every instrument, tool, vessel that does what it is made for is good, though he who made it is not there. When things are formed by nature, there is within them and abides in them the power which made them. Wherefore, the more you should reverence this power, and think that, if you live and act in according to its will, everything in you is in accord with intelligence. Thus also, in the universe, the things which belong to it are in accord with intelligence. Going back to the other show and checking it out, little Marcus Aurelius there to get us started. Hopefully the sound's working. Let's see. Checking out the price of Bitcoin. The price of Bitcoin is down 2.37% in the last 24 hours, with a last of 7,867, a high of 8,822, and a low of 7,663. That's $1 for 12,712 Satoshis. Checking out the Dow Jones Industrial Average, it's down 7.79%, all the way down to, let's see, where is it echoing? Not echoing there. Down 7.79%, down to 23,851. Presumably we're not echoing. Ah, haha, Twitter's running the same time as YouTube. Okay, good, because I always worry my headphones are echoing back, so I'm trying very much to have good sound. The story of the day, and I'm going to have a little more water before we get into this. Obviously, we've all seen the stock market situation, but now it's moved into Italy. And as it says here, according to the Wall Street Journal, Italy extends virus containment measures to the entire country. Only essential travel to, from, and within all of the country is allowed. Virtually all public gatherings are banned. And on this sad day for Italy, I thought it'd just be nice to do a little tribute and show some photos. I had the good fortune to visit Italy in October of 2018 as part of one of the MAD tours. I was there in between and after some Bitcoin events. Not really to see any Bitcoin events in Italy, unfortunately, but we did visit the Italian Bitcoin city of Rovereto in the north before heading on to Venice, Florence, and Rome. And I don't know, I shot like a billion pictures, so I don't know if I'm going to show them all, but I thought it'd be fun to just show some of the pictures and do a little tribute to Italy. We took off early in the morning, Max and I, in the car. Max drove on the Autobahn very fast. Glad it wasn't me. But we did get to go fast. This is the day where we visited 5 countries in one day. I think here we're entering into, I'm going to guess, Switzerland with a flag. But we entered into Switzerland, Austria, there's pictures of my feet, Switzerland, Austria, Liechtenstein, Germany, and Italy all in one day. Just a kind of a geographic oddity. You can do that kind of thing. So not sure we're in Italy yet. We might skip ahead. We started by visiting Liechtenstein, which is the home to many American and other corporations who have very small offices that they then claim as their corporate headquarters in Liechtenstein because of several things, tax rules, other international things, stuff like that. So we checked out Liechtenstein. It was very cool, but very small and likely very expensive. I didn't get to buy any magnets or touristy things in Liechtenstein, but there's the Hotel Kolm restaurant. I think this is about the heart of Liechtenstein here. You can see it. It looks like what you'd expect a Swiss mountain to look like, kind of like the Alps, nestled in amongst the mountains. Very nice in the summer, or actually I was there in October. Very nice when it's not snowing. I imagine very difficult to deal with when it's snowing. But there you can see Liechtenstein, a little country city. Country city of Liechtenstein as we are on our way to Italy and Rovereto, the Bitcoin city. Checking out a map of our location, it looks like we're going to be doing some twisting and turning. Once again, I had a great deal having a Max drive and had the good fortune that his parents lent us the car. So we lucked out quite a lot on our way down to Rovereto. Driving through kind of the Swiss-Italian Alps here. Again, this is October, so there is no snow. There's a guy, looks like he's flying. Oh, he's just landed a parachute there. That's pretty cool. You rarely see that. The guy just came in, landed a parachute in the field while we were driving by, and somehow was able to capture that on the old camera there. So shout out to iPhone camera. Look at that. There's a guy right there, parachuting right next to us, right next to the car. Rock and roll. You can parachute anywhere you want in Liechtenstein. It says in the chat, did I twirl around like the sound of music? It did feel very much like the hills were alive. Definitely my first time in the Swiss Alps. Oh, that looks like a Lamborghini. Let's go back. Let's see. Oh, no, it's a Ferrari. Still, it's a very well-to-do populace up there in Liechtenstein and Switzerland. So there's just one of the many Ferraris right there. So let's see, we're still working our way through the Swiss Alps and the Italian Alps down to the Italian city of Rovereto. Rovereto, the Bitcoin city. We did find some traces of the Bitcoin city. Here we are. We've reached kind of the top of the Swiss Alps. There's like a lake there. This was probably frozen most of the other time. Kind of a chateau-looking hotel. This probably would have been really tough to get through if it wasn't still October and summer or summer-ish. So I imagine a few weeks later, this entire pass was closed and full of snow. So we had excellent timing to do our little adventure down to Rovereto. There's me and Max up there on top at that mountain. So very cool, hanging with the Max. So ask me questions about Europe. Share your thoughts about Italy in the chat. If you really want, you could call in if you figure it out. Otherwise, let me know in the chat. We're just checking out some old photos, thinking about Rome and Italy, our good friends there, good, kind people who are now currently in quarantine, at least for the next couple weeks. I also have a couple of books from Italy that I might share, but right now we're still trying to drive there. As you can see, I took way too many pictures. But there it is, right across from the Jaggy clothing store. Check that in right there. Got a big picture of it for you. Jaggy for Jaggy. Probably took years to get it to you. There is the old Bitcoin Center in Rovereto. Unfortunately, the Bitcoin Center had closed and moved a few blocks over. By the time we found it a few blocks over, it was closed. So we never really made it there, but we did tour the town and attempt to find the businesses that they had converted to Bitcoin. Here's the information on how we can get to their new shop. There was also a Mad Hatter, kind of a haircutting shop near there, so I got a kick out of that. But here we are in the Bitcoin city of Rovereto. It looks exactly what you'd think an old Italian town would look like. There's the salami. Here's the churches, the small streets, the small cars. We walked around Rovereto, looked at the bookshops, the square, found some food. It's funny, I have these pictures of stickers and street art from all over the world now. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but I have tons of them. So there's the square. They're having some kind of fair or festival. Here's the restaurant we ate at. They had Dom. I had kind of a peppered pasta. It was very good, but then it was too spicy. There's Max getting his food. There's me. We did the table trick. I don't know if you guys have done it, but if you hand the camera over the table, you can get two almost perfect pictures of whoever you're eating with. This is their super cinema. I think it only has one screen, maybe two screens. It was not very super. There's a statue in the town. Oh, this was pretty good, but that's from Prague. So that must have been something else. But here we are getting some salami on our way in Rovereto. We kind of went up. There's a dog pickup. I have pictures of dog pickup graphics from lots of different countries. So this is a nice panoramic shot from up above Rovereto. We kind of went walking around, looking at the Italian countryside, found this old castle-looking place right down there. Went and toured it, checked it out. Turned out it's become a winery. So very cool-looking old castle. Lots of approach shots. It says in the chat, Jackie says it looks like Picard's Winery, Picard's Vineyard. Yeah, it definitely has all of Italy, France. I mean, they have this old look to everything. It's just fantastic. It looked like right here in the winery, just, amazing ceiling. And this is just some random, restaurant, winery. They've got it all cleaned up really nice here. Here's the stuff they're selling. We could tell right away we weren't in any trouble. We knew right away at this point, we're like, oh, we haven't snuck into some rich person's house. We've snuck into some rich winery. So we checked it out, grabbed a cool pic of the view and their suit of armor, and hightailed it out of there. This is kind of the valley of Rovereto and the town below. I think we made one more pass to try to go to the Bitcoin shop. Unless you guys want to see more pictures of roses, I might zoom us down that way. Oh, there it is. There's a big bear. Maybe fitting for today. It's a large Russian-looking bear with a car on its back riding a bicycle. Has some meaning. So there's the Bitcoin shop in Rovereto. Unfortunately, it was closed the day we were there. You can see they have some T-shirts inside and some hats. They have Bitcoin. They have the digital Bitbox browser. They have little signs and stuff. So very cool. Max and I got to go there. This was from 2018. Before people get upset that I'm in Italy again. I'm not. But it was very cool. We got to check out the Bitcoin town of Rovereto. We went to a business here, and look, they take Bitcoin right here at Manicello, this little bar right there. We went inside. They said, wow, they'll give you a discount if you pay in Bitcoin. They had the signs everywhere. They had the little booklet that I took home. We're hoping it's an underground kind of a cafe bar, pretty cool place. Of course, the Bitcoin machine didn't work while we were there, but we did give it a good shot to pay in Bitcoin. I had a lemon soda. It was nice. There's the view from the bar out to the street. I take a lot of pictures, but I think it's worth it. I think a lot of these are pretty good pictures. There's the espresso machine and so forth. There's me and Max. And not too long after this, well, there's a video of them trying to get it work. I don't know if that's that interesting. Let's see if it loads. Welcome to the chat. We're just checking out some old pictures of Italy, thinking good thoughts about our Italian friends today as they begin the experience of quarantine. There goes our digital rights. This audio is provided for commentary only. Come on, YouTube. But here it is. They're trying to make the Bitcoin work.
NFC on?
See, it was too complicated. It had like NFC and all these different things. Like, we just want to scan a QR code. There, like. And she speaks Italian. She's got everything. So someone was going to go get the tablet, but Max had to head back. He had to take the car back to his parents. So there it is. Goodbye to Max. He's heading off on the road. And then I was left on the train station alone on my way to, I think, Venice. Let's see where I'm going to go. To Verona, to Venice. So do I think Max went home with the barmaid? I'm afraid not. But no, she was lovely. And of course, if you go to the Bitcoin town of Rovereto, say hello. So here's a little bit of the Italian countryside. And I thought, for my money, the Italian countryside looks a lot like California. So you might like that. I mean, California is pretty awesome. And maybe the idea being when people got out here to California, they were like, my goodness, that's beautiful. That's wonderful. That's like Italy. Let's go back to where we came from. So, people love Italy and people love California. So here we are on the train on our way and just already, boom, the train has left the land and we are out in the water. We are heading towards Venice. Let's see what this video looks like. Oh, you got to push play twice. It's very intuitive. And there it is on the way. We are in Venice now. There it is, Venice, the city of canals. So incredible. Always wanted to see this. I just gotten there. Still got my bag on my back. About to get lost on my way to my Airbnb. But I made it to Venice. So there it is. There's a boat. So I took like a water taxi around the islands to get to where my Airbnb was. And it was amazing. Jackie says all these people look very innocent. They have no idea they're about to get the coronavirus. But it was still 2 years ago and a little more. So they've had some time. And remember, all these people are tourists too. No one lives in Venice. Some people do, I suppose. They work there. But everyone else is just a tourist. And they take endless pictures. Look at this. The whole thing, you can see it's practically animated. We're skipping ahead. Well, not even that far ahead. But there we are. We made it to Venice. In Venice, I didn't have a lot of time. Venice was really expensive, so I only got to stay like a day there. Here we go. I got some spaghetti, more Italian pasta for Italian pasta lovers. And yeah, they're saying in the chat, this coronavirus has taken the same route as the plague, China to the Mideast, Italy to Europe. If it keeps following this route, it's possible I'll be able to keep doing photo retrospectives as countries keep shutting down. The disease following the path of the mad tour. That's not exactly the press we want, but this is St. Mark's Square. Just going out for a quick walk after I'd found my Airbnb. I walked a lot in Venice. I really saw the outsides of everything. Didn't really have a lot of time to see the insides of things. We'll have to save that for next time. But it was just fantastic everywhere. The way the city's built, the way that the water is integrated into the city, the statues. I saw this statue from all four different angles. I kept coming out of different parts of the city, and then I would see this statue, and then suddenly I knew where I was. So it was pretty amazing. Oh, look, I could have bought a Lamborghini. It was sold. Too bad. Can't get that one. There's more street art in Venice. Always going to be taking pictures of street art and stickers. There's Andy Warhol and his skull. Interesting. There's a lot of stickers. Very cool. Looks like a club, maybe. Some sweet mural work there. And we're skipping ahead. And here it is, daybreak. I was out again the next morning to walk around and have my day in Venice. I would walk a total of, you won't believe it, but I think about 15 miles this day in Venice. Even took a break, took a nap in the middle of it. Here I am back at St. Mark's Square getting some early daybreak photos. Just an incredibly photogenic place. My photos do nothing. They just, capture what was there. But what was there? What an incredible thing. Statues and palaces. There's another water taxi there. So this is a water taxi stop. You could take the water taxi from here to one of the other parts of the island. Venice, an interesting collection of islands kind of shaped like a fish. Kind of shaped like a couple of fish. But here it is. I took way too many pictures. There's no way they're all going to load. So there's some more street art for you. And we're moving through Venice. See some classic building there. Just another street in Venice. I like this guy here. Just very normal guy walking down the street, caught up in some tourist picture. Videotaping signs. I also have lots of videotaping signs. There's that statue again in the daytime this time. There's some nice shadows in the square. Just another place, a different place, that Italy, Venice. Boats everywhere. I mainly walked once I got there. Didn't do the gondola ride. It was just me. So here we are, getting some bright sunshine on this now. I've probably looped back at this point, circling around the island. Here's me with a St. Mark's Square. Looks a lot like the beard I'm wearing right now. Had some cool clouds going on in the background there, giving it a little character. There I am having my nap in Venice. I picked up my cool black hat that I tried to wear for this show, but I couldn't fit my headphones over it, so it wasn't a good for the show. Here's an old castle, or maybe an old jail in Venice. Very well protected with cement. Jeremy says, did I get the Pope's autograph? No, I didn't, but I did stay very close to the Vatican in Rome. And I'm thinking there are far too many photos now to show them all. Here we go. Now this is the money right here. This is some of the walking that I did in Venice on October 15th, 2018. So don't worry, you can't catch me now. But yeah, look, 7.5 miles. I went all over the place, as you can see, circling back, circling forth, really covering it. And a great city to walk to, even if you only have a day or a couple days. I didn't get to buy any of these chess pieces or chessmen, but look at them, are fantastic, and they had tons. Tons of different kinds, Tons of different ones. Skulls, owls with steampunk on them. Oh, my bag was far too small. But yes, I did some serious walking in Venice. Really hammered it out. Saw as much as I could see of this beautiful Italian city. There's a little superhero action for you there, a little Marvel. And then I'm afraid it was time to leave Venice, and the journey continued. Looks like maybe one more night in Venice, taking as many pictures as I possibly could. Then I think I went walking again the next morning, even though I had to leave. Still just trying to get all those pictures in. Look at that lion there. Incredible detail. 7 miles is pretty good jaunt. I think I did twice as much though. I think the thing was lying. There's a gondola right there. That's a nice gondola shot. And let's see here. Leaving Venice? Maybe? I know I went out the next. Oh boy, look at all the chessmen. This is where it got bad. Look, Waterloo chessmen, ancient Roman chessmen, Greek and Roman, Cleopatra the chessmen, just silver shiny the chessmen, celebrity busts. Man, only 15 euros? Ugh. Is that 15 or is that 45? Man, 15 euros. I'm lucky I didn't come back with, I don't know, a bust of Oscar Wilde or something. This is a tough shop, and this is my day out of town here. So I'm kind of walking by this shop early in the morning. I wasn't able to go inside, probably for the best. Look right there, that's a leather chessboard. Ooh, that sounds nice. Again, more kind of red and blue, some silver sculptures. Obviously, my plan was to photograph the shop for later return. But there it is. I'm finding it now. Still no more chess sets, but look at all those details, chess sets, crazy spunky figures. They think the prices are good. Well, if the prices are good, go back to good old Venice and hit these guys up. You can't go right now because all commerce is prohibited. You can't walk around the streets. The whole thing is closed. All of Italy is closed. I guess I'm kind of in denial on that. I'm looking at my pictures like everything's fine and remembering the good time and how nice it was to visit. Look, there it is. There's an Italian Coke. Oh, prodotto in Italy, Italia. So just a tribute to Italy, the show. And then, boom, look, I'm in Florence. I'm at the Duomo. I think that's the Duomo. I don't know. It's the church down there in Florence. With the dome. Really awesome colors on it. Really stands out. There you go. There's some hardworking gentlemen ready to go. And yeah, it just stands out. Has a color like anything else with the whiteness, kind of the red, the pale. And the other thing I really remember about Florence that made it stand out from Venice, there's the gold doors. I shouldn't skip the gold doors. She looks kind of dramatic there in front of the doors. There's me in front of the gold doors. So yeah, the gold doors, classic. I didn't get a chance to go in the chapel. As it is, I don't go into a lot of places, but I walk around the outside all the time. But just like I was saying about Florence, Florence seemed to me the city of public statues. You could just walk around, like here, right here. Here's a great statue, maybe Poseidon. Let's see. And just in general, public statues. Here's a little gelato action. More chess sets. I want them all. More chess sets. And, ooh, look at that. That's some cool perspective there. You could chain somebody up there for later. But mainly, yeah, I went down to this kind of public statue garden. This was as good as any museum, and you could just walk around it there in Florence. You didn't need tickets or anything. I think there were some awesome museums nearby that are no doubt supporting these amazing outdoor statues. But bam, right there, Florence, huh? Again, I got a really cheap room here. It was really sweet. I was living in like a hostel with like a collection of other rooms, and we were sharing some public space. Really, we were in the basement of some apartment building. Some enterprising person had turned it into a place for people to live. It used to be just a basement. So It was pretty awesome. We got to go to Rovereto. Got to go to. I love this guy. He went around putting scubas on everything. He had a whole series going in Florence. But yeah, a little time in Florence, a little more street art. Got to get this one. David walking away with it. Oh, and I did go in one thing in Florence. I got to go to the David. I guess that's coming up. I probably took about 1,000 pictures of the David. Oh, I went to this monastery. They had painted the paintings on the walls of the rooms of the monks. So then they couldn't take the paintings. So they kind of took the monastery, and they have tourists going through the monastery now. But still, if you were a monk, you could have a sweet painting on your wall. This would be like in lieu of television. You could like look at your sweet painting, think religious thoughts. That kind of thing. So checked out that sweet monastery, a couple other small museums, saw the David. There it is. Bam. Bigger than you think. Much bigger. There's me and the David. Not a great shot. But I got some others, I'm sure. I shot about 1,000 pictures of the David. He seems about 8 foot tall. He's huge. Detailed. Incredibly detailed. The hands. It basically seems like a he seems like a model, like a live model that's just waiting there. And if everyone would just leave the room, he would get down, go outside in the back, have a cigarette. I mean, there's a tour guide telling those people all about it. I was listening in. You can see the details in the hand, details in the feet. Just an incredible work in Italy. Now closed. At least for right now. I'm sure it'll open again soon. It's going to be awesome. David again soon. So let's see. And also there was right next to the David is an awesome sculpture gallery full of other sculptures that no one cares about at all. But they're all really nice and nicely cataloged, and there's a ton of them. There's also some other good art in the museum, definitely worth checking out. Wouldn't just go to the David, but Jaggy's right in the chat. David can go on his smoke break now. Nobody's looking at him for the first time in a long time. So he deserves it. Here's a little bit of the Duomo still in Florence here. Just amazing seeing that from all over town. And then, of course, the scuba diving guy. Got a little, maybe a Mozart there. And I thought I saw another one. There we go. Scuba diving guy with family of scuba diving people. These were all over town. That was cool. There's one more. Scuba diving. Vincent Van Gogh. Scuba diving. So, pretty cool. But I think it's time to about head out of Florence. I hit up the Bargello Museum on the way out of town. I think I have the book here. Books don't really transmit that well. And, of course, I took pictures of everything. But, yeah, the Bargello, great museum, free museum. Or it was like $10 or something. It doesn't. I got there early, so it was empty. Anytime a museum's early and empty, you can get kind of sweet pictures like this. Anytime I see an empty room, I'm like, oh, time to get my sweet empty room pictures. It really does look like I'm on a private tour. But I just got there first. There were 2 or 3 other people in the museum with me. They're behind me. Hey, shout out to BTC Moon Guy in the chat. He says he loves seeing the photos and he's never been out of the U.S. I had never been out of the U.S. either for a long time. And it's only recently that I've been lucky enough to go to Europe a couple of times. And when I'm there, I really make the most of it. I try to go to as many museums as I can. As you can see, I take way too many pictures of way too many things. But I'm interested in all this stuff. And a lot of times, like I was only in this museum a few hours. So I kind of had to see what they had, see what they've got, and get as many pictures as I could to look at later. And, of course, I also bought the book of the museum. That was like $10 or something. It was a nice little small one. So here it is, getting ready to leave Florence, running around, getting on another train. Here I am, I'm on a train, and boom, I'm in Rome, Vatican City, the heart of Rome. What did I think about Vatican City? I didn't think that there would be homeless people there. I don't know why I thought that. I thought that the Pope, I thought that the church, with all of their wealth, not that they would cover it up. I thought that, maybe they'd take care of them and like help them and have like a homeless academy or something. That's not what they had. Instead, they had homeless people right there, right where the Pope lived. They had all these weird barricades up as well. They had some kind of like a speech there, and these were the leftovers of the security barricades. I had just barely arrived in Rome here and was going for a walk. Here's some Roman networking. As a computer geek, I'm always taking pictures of impressive network wires. This was a really good picture. Maybe I think this one, or maybe this one here. Yeah, you can see she's got the ice cream cone. She's licking it. Middle of the picture, we've got the sun coming down through here. There's another nice one with the ice cream cone, the different people walking. Just, luck. These people, the Italian people, just look great in these pictures. I don't know, girl in red here, older lady with a shawl, and then back to network cables. Because that's what's really important here, is get more pictures of the network cables. That's what I want to see. They had signs like this all over town. It was kind of like the symbol of Rome, Romulus and Remus, the two sons of the wolf, who were raised in the valley and founded the city. And I think they even had kind of an Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel type relationship later on. But there's a big palace thing. I don't think I was successful in going to this palace. They wanted me to buy tickets or to buy a Roma pass, but I couldn't buy the Roma pass there. I got confused. And sometimes when I get confused, I just go for a walk somewhere else. So there was tons of great things to see in Rome other than whatever this big castle thing was. Mainly I seemed to go to churches in Rome. Everywhere I walked, there was another new, amazing-looking church. So I'd bought my head inside, and in the most respectful way imaginable, I would then take too many pictures of the church. But now you guys get to enjoy them. Here's ones I always take kind of a straight up-looking picture. Sometimes I even use the reverse camera function. And there's Jack Ryan. He was following me around Europe that time. It was fun. And here's looks like another church. Ooh. Oh, I like this one. The gold. And again, this is all lit mainly by natural light. We're getting up on magic hour here. Looks like it was around 5:52. Oh, there it is. That's one of these is still like the cover of my Facebook. Just something about the way that the gold, mainly lit from the light, reflecting the light in, just magnificent. And yeah, I don't even really know the name of this church, but wow, great church. Rome has great churches. There's a park. I thought these were just stereotypically Roman trees, the kind of thing that you think about. And then I probably went to another church. There it is. Oh, another big ceiling. Every one of these ceilings you think, oh, it's the Sistine Chapel, but I actually didn't see the Sistine Chapel because there was giant lines and scary, confusing rules and stuff. So, but I saw stuff like this, which is just as good. And I saved a couple things. So if I ever get to go back to Rome, maybe that time I'll see the Sistine Chapel. This was called the Altar of the Fatherland, I believe. And was just magnificent in the sunset, great statues, and also great steps that I later walked up and got some sweet views from the top. So let's maybe skip ahead, although I think I only shot like 2,000 pictures in Rome. You guys want to be here forever. But we are heading hopefully towards the end of this program, although maybe I could do another 20 minutes if you really want to see some more Roman pictures. Same kind of thing with Rome. I didn't really... Oh, there's the ruins there in the center. You can see that's kind of a monument, a museum, the central area where there's nothing. Oh, there's the building. Didn't have that much time in Rome. Was kind of tired out by that point. So I didn't do too many museums. Kind of saw the outside of a lot of things. Toured a lot of churches. I got to see the outside of the Colosseum really good. Had to save the inside tour for next time. I think this is Trajan's Column in front of the Pantheon in Rome. Magnificent column. Interesting, in England, they have a copy of Trajan's Column, but it's cut in half, so that you can see the top half closer to the ground. Kind of an interesting feature. And there it is, me at the Roman Colosseum. I could see it from the altar of the fatherland. So I had to walk over. I had to check it out. And it was pretty cool. And I definitely want to see it more if I ever go back to Rome. But there it is, about 1,000 pictures of the Colosseum. I thought this one was great. This is actually a kind of a telling one here. Oh, this guy doesn't like this channel. Too bad, man. I'm sorry. Oh, we'll put him on a timeout. He can think about it. But no, this is a pretty telling one. This was some street graffiti. I'm always taking pictures of street graffiti. And it's from the Audrey Hepburn movie where she and Cary Grant drive around. I think it's Roman Holiday. And they have masks on. And it says clean air now. But it's especially funny on today and on the whole coronavirus is that it looks like Audrey Hepburn and Cary Grant are wearing masks. So, yeah, that picture got more prophetic. But here's the altar of the fatherland. Interesting, cool moon, sky backgrounds. I don't know how that guy could get upset. I mean, you click on a video that says tribute to Italy. There's Deutsche Bank. Max was working for Deutsche Bank, so I kept sending him pictures of different Deutsche Banks. There are so many. Looks like I walked a lot that day. I walked 10 miles in Rome that day. That's a lot for one person. Especially not like a crazy cross-country runner person. So, well, let's see. A little bit more Rome. Then we'll head towards the end. Drinking a little more water there. Talk too much. All right, Rome. Here's the Pantheon, I think. Look at all those people. Like, see how I make it look nice? And you're like, oh, classic, beautiful Rome. And you're like, oh, my God, that's what's really happening. So, yeah, I was wandering around with all those good people, taking pictures of things. Still finding your occasional abandoned old church here somewhere nice to step in, get some pictures. There's one of the obelisks taken from Egypt. I'd seen the one in Rome a lot, or the one in London a couple of times. This is the one in Rome. The London one's called Cleopatra's Needle. I don't know the name of this one, but Egyptian obelisk in Rome. Pay it no mind. Here's an old church. And here's the Trevi Fountains. You can't really see, but there's a billion people here. I'm sure I'm going to show you on one of my later pictures. I'm doing that whole zoom in fakey thing. There it is. That's what the Trevi Fountains really look like. So it was not quite, there it is. Beautiful, elegant, not even sure they're on. And then a sea of people, just an amazing amount. There you go. You see again, you get just, wow. So, yeah, I don't think, and again, I was just by myself. So that was pretty weird. You turn down one corner and bang, you're like, yeah, you found the Trevi Fountains. That's an incredible church right there. Again, Rome full of churches, all magnificent. Look like right there. Ceiling as good as anything you're going to see anywhere else. Oh, Jeremy's bringing us back to the present, saying the coronavirus would love that crowd. Ooh. And, yeah, we're getting the sunset on these Roman buildings here, just like the guy talks about in Groundhog Day. Have you ever seen the sun set in Rome, the way it hits the buildings? And, oh, the chessboards. Look, more chessboards. There's at least one guy in the chat who was like, oh, I dig those chessboards. So he and I can enjoy our chessboard porn together. The rest of you are along for the chessboard porn ride. Those look like Scottish chessmen right there. They have some Scottish characteristics. Probably a Braveheart-inspired set. And looks like maybe some World War II stormtrooper-y kind of ones there. That looks like Abraham Lincoln Civil War type chess set. And more street art, because I'm always taking pictures of street art. But here we are bopping around Rome, tributing to Italy on this sad day of the Italian quarantine. There's Theo, but Theo and Veronica were not with me in Rome, so I don't know why they're in that picture, but shout out to Theo and Veronica. Here I am up on a hill in Rome, walking around, taking pictures, looking down on the city. These came out okay, but not great. Also, they had a lot of great statues up on the hill, so I took pictures of all the statues. That's how it is. Uh, Someday someone's gonna want that picture of that statue. I don't know. That's what I do. But there it is, a beautiful lined street. See the old, I'm gonna say oaks. Call them Roman oaks today, but I don't think they're Roman. There you can see the city off in the distance. Rome does have some nature that you can walk around. Also has a lot of nice fancy houses and fancy buildings and so forth that I walk next to. But here we are going for a big walk in Rome, going to check some things out. Looks like I went to a few more old churches up on the hill. Nice marble inset. Heavy the walls, the sides of these churches. Shout out to Harmony in the chat. Very cool. She likes the pictures, says they want to go there someday. It was very cool. I definitely say check it out. I didn't go for that long, but as you can see, I got to see a lot of stuff. Ooh, I like the spiraling nature of that ceiling. Look at that. That is some great work. Really draws you in. But no, I was only in Rome, or I was in Italy for about a week. I took trains from place to place, Airbnb'd it, walked, took the bus, Uber, that kind of thing. And wasn't that expensive. That's a cool one. The role of the artist is to make revolution irresistible. Pretty cool. But yeah, I just added it on to the end of one of my Bitcoin trips. I was like, while I was here, because once you get to Europe, I mean, I agree it's hard. There you go, Twitter chasing that guy. I agree it's hard to get to Europe, but once you get on the big plane, you get the big money and all the time and all the stress of being on a big, long airplane flight. Once you make it there, everywhere in Europe is like $200. You could just fly here, fly there, $200. So it's hard not to. And that's how I ended up getting to go to Rome, and that's how I got to go to Greece as well. So it was pretty accessible once you're there. Here's just more street art, stencils, stickers. I'm just totally into this stuff. Everywhere I go, I'm like, man, that's some cool stuff. So you don't see that anywhere else. Oh, that's a nice one. Superman falling from grace there. Do I always get bed and breakfast at Airbnbs? I rarely. The one time the guy had breakfast, it was like there was a bowl of bran flakes, and there was some. Here's some more of our good Italian guardmen keeping a watch on the old churches there. Always good to see people with machine guns. But this one had a really good ceiling. Yeah, there you go. No, they don't usually have breakfast. That seems to be that's more back to the old fancy bed and breakfast that the people used to stay in wine country, that kind of thing. Nowadays, it's just you're staying in somebody's house. If you've got some dough, you can rent the whole apartment, which is usually really nice. You have some quiet time to yourself. You can sometimes use a washing machine, stuff like that. But if you're like me, usually you're renting a room in someone's house. So you got to be quiet. They got to be quiet. We got to work together. Oh, there's one of those things from Amelie. Oh, now I want to go watch Amelie again. Very cool. But yeah, not that much money. You save money. They get to make some money renting out their house. Good for everybody. Can't beat it. Airbnbs. I think I'm underground here. I went to this like crypt underneath the church. So this is all like looking up. This has all been put into the chamber. I think they had their like masses down here. Harmony says that's the fanciest ceiling they've ever seen. Yeah, they do a lot of detail work on everything in Europe. I used to wonder, I'd live in San Francisco and I'd see the different buildings and they'd have such elaborate entrances. I'd be like, why do they spend so much time on the entrance? I mean, who cares, right? But if you think about it, back then, the main way to differentiate an apartment building, this is an old church that I visited, was to have the entranceway be grand and fantastic. So you would have this magnificent entryway to make your apartment nicer than someone else's apartment. So all of these little flourishes have some kind of a like an economic function to them. So they aren't just pointless and meaningless and decorative like I once thought back when I was way into modern architecture. And I still am. I like modern architecture. I just also like classical. So I'm not very useful as a judge in things, but it's likes everything. But here we are touring some more Roman things. I think this is down near Circus Maximus, kind of the center of town. There's a little bit of an aqueduct there that's been left. This was part of the another kind of tour thing. I didn't pay to go in, so you can only see it over the fence here with me. But I still think you could see pretty good over the fence. These were some more ruins and stuff that I walked by. But yeah, this is the arch down by the Colosseum. Maybe it's where you got tickets. I don't know. Hey, there I am. And I bought a little Roman scarf. I'm Romaning it up. This looks really nice for some reason. I'm going to slow down and enjoy the arch. Of course, I took pictures of all the elements of the arch, all the little zoom-ins and everything. But yeah, there it is. There's the Colosseum. Colosseum at daytime. Walked all the way around it. Didn't get a chance to do the interior tour this time. Got to save some stuff for next time. It was hot and getting hotter. I think I spent the second half of the day back at my Airbnb. Of course, there's no air conditioning, but still, it's nice to get a place where you could just sit down. Here's somebody doing one of those statue poses from up on the hill, so I had to get them. And here, as you can see, a close-up of the Colosseum, really see the kind of the damage and the holes and just the how old and how long this thing's been there. So there's some cool ones with the sun coming through. And again, that's why these are all pretty much shot on my iPhone. So I think it's worth it usually to buy the best iPhone that you can get or Android phone, whatever. Get the best camera you can get. The camera you have with you is the best camera that you have. And I'm fortunate because I have the iPhone with me, and then I can take lots of pictures, and they can turn out really good. I don't know who that guy is, but that's an interesting looking street art. But here we are in Rome, checking out, looks like, I think, Altar of the Fatherland again, in the blazing sunshine. It's definitely going to be getting hot there. I think I'm buying some souvenirs around here, getting some street magnets, that kind of thing. There I am. Pretty happy that I got to Rome, got a little hat on the street. I remember always negotiate with the guys on the street, never pay full price. It's a cool little Fiat. There's that little Fiat. There's just one of the ruins interspersed with the town. They have little ruins like this. Same kind of thing in Athens. There's a lot of places where they found ruins after the city was built up, and there's nothing they can do. They kind of put a glass case over them, or they put a wall around it, and you can just look at it as you walk by. Quite a thing just to walk around a town to get some food or something and see some old ruins. You can't beat it. So here's the Vatican City, full of people pretty much all the time. I didn't get a chance to do the Silicon or the Sistine Chapel tour. Very popular, very crowded, very intimidating. And I think I was pretty toured out by the time I got to Rome. I was tired. I've been on the road for a long time. Here's the Basilica of St. Cecilia. I got their book. Oh, and I found some peanut butter. Not a lot of peanut butter in Rome. There's another nice old Fiat. Oh, very cool. And it looks like I'm on my way out of Rome, going back to, looks like Germany, Frankfurt. From Rome, I flew to Frankfurt, where then we went to McDonald's, and then we went to the Frankfurt School of Management for the Bitcoin blockchain meetup that they had there. So that's about it for my tribute to Rome and a tribute to Italy. Thanks everyone for joining me. I know this might not have been interesting to everyone, but you probably just turned it off. If you stuck with me for an hour listening to me look at my vacation photos, very cool. Good on you. I'm surprised that you're interested. I think they're cool photos. I thought it was a great time. Maybe a once in a lifetime trip. It was amazing. And to everybody who's stuck inside in Italy, we salute you. It's going to be a tough quarantine. You're only the first. I think we're all going to be quarantined at some point. I feel quarantined already. But so it goes. And keep a stiff upper lip. Be positive about your situation. You're in Italy. You'll be able to go outside and see all this great stuff again soon. I'm sure it's going to be fine. We're going to get through this thing. The Bitcoin price right now, I don't know. It's on a different screen. Looks like it's still 7,933 with a last of that, and a high of 8,148 and a low of 7,663. Thanks so much to everyone for joining us. We'll probably be back tomorrow morning with another episode of the Thomas Hunt Show, but I just wanted to celebrate Italy and show you some pictures. So thanks so much. Until next time, bye-bye.